Before this video begins, I would just like to let you guys know that this is strictly going to be a talking head video, so you can just go off and do other things while listening to this video. If you can just listen to the audio, like keep it in a tab in the background, just listen to it. Hey everyone, Thresher here, and this is just going to be a random video where me and my friend
Thanks.
Ryan...
I was about to say, thanks for introducing me.
I was getting to it. You have to show some patience. Where me and my friend Ryan here, who is the most impatient person I currently know, as you guys just saw.
Well, they really didn't see, they're kind of hearing it.
Where are you?
Man, I don't know.
I see you.
Okay.
So me and Ryan have been discussing for the past couple hours now our top 5 list for who we would like to see take over the Star Wars licensing from EA, if Disney were to take it from them. And we came up with a list. We did come up with a list, successfully. But the thing is, I wasn't recording the desktop audio. Also, I should mention at this point, this list is in no particular order of, like, who's the best, most suited. I should mention that right now. And this bit is actually going to be put probably somewhere closer to the beginning. It's probably going to get cut out. And it's going to be an odd jump cut here, but whatever. So, yeah. We're starting this video over again. But now we can condense it. Alright, so the first company that we decided on was Square Enix. Do you want to take over the reasoning for why we chose Square Enix? Or do you want to do that for Bethesda?
Bethesda. I'd prefer to do it for
Okay.
Bethesda.
Now, Square Enix was my pick. And the reason why I chose Square Enix is because they are the primary developers behind all Final Fantasy games, if not most of them. And they're also behind most, if not all, of the Kingdom Hearts games. And they have a reputation for doing a good job with their games, making sure that they pay good attention, special attention to the stories, and they make sure that they do them right. And by God, they do a fantastic job. And it also helps that they know how to do good music in their games. Stand By Me and Face My Fears. Oh, they have my heart right now. Anyways, on to Ryan's pick, which was Bethesda.
That was a huge discussion between him and I about Bethesda.
Yeah.
He's having
Do you want me to
with it.
say why I didn't want Bethesda?
I feel like everybody should know what we're talking about in specific because
Okay.
of what's the whole controversy of it going on currently.
Yeah.
I feel like it doesn't need to be mentioned within itself. My reasoning behind it is you have such incredible great games such as Skyrim and Fallout 4 that are such wonderful sandbox style games. The open world concept, I feel like Star Wars itself needs something like that.
Yeah. And the only reason I really oppose that is with their handling of Fallout 76, which everyone already knows. Canvas bags, switched out for nylon bags, bad compensation for it, and then they finally relented, then the Nuka Dark thing, and the state of Fallout 76, and yada 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 yada. I don't need to explain all of that. Ultimately, I decided their past kind of outweighs their current situation a little bit. They have to work to regain my trust fully, but I'm willing to give them a pass on Fallout 76 because in the past they have done a good job.
Yeah,
A
and
very
that
good
was
job.
my whole point. Yeah, they had one issue with one game. They didn't handle it properly. Guess what? We all make mistakes. It happens. But you got to remember, they are more in the spotlight of mistakes than we are. And the reason for that is because they're such a big company.
Yeah. Though, in my opinion, those were pretty big mistakes, but I digress. Moving on. Next up, we decided on Ubisoft, right?
Yes, we did actually.
And the reason that I chose Ubisoft, this was my pick, was because of the Assassin's Creed series. Because they have done a very good job with the majority of the Assassin's Creed games. And they also have other great games under the belts, like the Rayman Rayman Legends, Origins, and all of those games. They have done a good job with them.
Yep, we actually, I think it was one of the ones other than Square Enix that we didn't really argue about too much.
I'm starting up the recording again. Alright, well that was an interesting thing. computer crashed. Oh well, anyways, back to the list. Alright, so Ryan,
What was number 3?
number
Number-
3 was Ubisoft on my part. We're on number
And-
4.
All right, number 4 was Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And what was your reasoning behind Naughty Dog?
The Last of Us. And the reason for that was because, you know, one of the things that we mentioned about this is having a good story when it comes to, you know, the Star Wars
Yeah.
series. And to me, regardless of anything out there, The Last of Us had the best story of any game that I've personally ever played. And they're coming out with a new one this year. And this is crazy. I'm almost willing to buy a new PlayStation just to play that game.
That is actually pretty crazy because Ryan here is a very, very hardcore PC Master Race person.
100%.
Which is understandable why.
Oh,
But,
especially
and then
with
my...
the rig I have.
Yeah, with the rig you have, definitely. And then my argument was actually in support of that. Because they also did the Uncharted series, which is very, very massively loved by a lot of people. And so, I 100% have to agree with Naughty Dog being on this list. Anyways, the next choice that we put up, and this is one that I chose, was CD Projekt Red. Which actually surprised Ryan here a fair bit. Because he didn't even think of them, which is even funnier considering one of their most recent games and how much he's played it. I would have thought that he would have brought it up instead of me.
Yeah, I feel, yeah, it didn't even cross my mind. I'm not even gonna lie. There's no way I could BS that whatsoever. He mentioned it, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, kind of like how you can't BS your way out of the fact that you forgot that there were 2 Death Stars.
I did forget. Yep, 100%. We all have mindsets
I love
sometimes.
bringing that up. I love bringing up that little bit there. And it's so apt here, too, in this discussion.
Yeah, cause and the game he's talking about is The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
I have 2 hours into the game itself.
You have 2 hours into the game?
200 hours. Oh god.
Ryan, you're slipping.
I have 200 hours into the game itself, which the reason why I don't have more than that is because I don't allow myself to really play it anymore because once I get started, I can't stop.
Yeah. So he's a big fan of that, which, once again, that's why I was surprised he didn't bring up CD Projekt Red. I'm surprised that I was the one who brought it up. Because I've personally only ever really played The Witcher 2, which I enjoyed what I've played of The Witcher 2 so far, don't get me wrong. But the main reason I chose them was because they're a very well-loved company, and by all intents and purposes, a very good company. Everyone loves them, and they've done such fantastic jobs with all of the IPs that they've handled.
And they put out solid games throughout the years. So.
Exactly. Like, I don't think CD Projekt Red's really had any missteps. Not any that I can immediately think of. What the hell was that?
Hold up, I gotta hold on.
Was that a gasp?
Yeah, it was.
You know what? I'm actually going to go a step further and say we're not limiting it to just 5. Let's add 2 more on. So, Ryan, what's your next pick?
Oh,
Ryan?
I'm still googling.
Oh, you're still googling. Okay,
Um,
fine then.
The company of the game that we're currently playing.
Yeah, we actually discussed this, and he can't, for the life of him, recognize or remember this name. He can't memorize it for some reason.
Yeah,
Bandai Namco.
Bandai Namco. I'm gonna forget it. I'm even gonna be talking about it halfway through this and forget it. So Bandai Namco, we discussed this. There's certain parts about the company that he didn't realize, like in certain games.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they actually had open world games. I thought that they primarily did like fighting style games like Naruto to Boruto, Shinobi Strikers here.
Yeah, which we play together. A
lot.
So I mentioned the SAO, the Sword Art Online games to him. He's never played them before whatsoever. And the thing with those games is, yeah, you have to unlock, especially with Hollow Realization, you have to unlock, or the deluxe edition, you have to unlock certain areas. But once you unlock those areas, travel around from different parts of that map. So what happens is you have, let's take one of the main sections. We'll take the main section. In that section, the first area, there's a variety of areas that you can go to. You go from different areas in that large section. You can fast travel to them. You can explore, do all kinds of things. It's an open world concept. Once you progress a certain amount in the story, you move on to the next area, but you can always go back to the other one. You can travel around. And one of the things is once you defeat the game, even before you defeat the game, you can go into a certain mode in multiplayer where you can actually go back and change the level settings and just kind of go around and kill whatever you want to, get some XP, get some really cool equipment, stuff like that. And he's never seen that part of the game, which is why it was a mention of mine, a main mention.
Yeah, and that convinced me. Yeah, okay, Bandai Namco would be a fine company to include on this list, 100%. Especially since they don't have any shady monetization practices going against them. Which, honestly, as long as a company doesn't have that going for them, and they've made fantastic games, then they're very much welcome on this list.
And they've made more than just, you know, SAO and the Shinobi Strikers. They have all
of the Naruto games.
You know, Shippuden, all that stuff, all the games. They're
also coming out with Jump Force,
which comes out next month, I believe. Super excited about it.
Might actually have to pick it up. Both of us.
I actually think Boruto as well as Sasuke is in the game as well.
I'm pretty sure Naruto is. 100% Naruto is.
No, Naruto is.
Naruto is, yeah. So is Yugi.
Yeah, I know Dark Magician Girl is in there, which is
probably Dark Magician. There's probably, you know what? I guarantee Kaiba's gonna have to be in there.
So I was actually doing research on it and I'll probably.
We're actually going off topic a little bit.
We are,
but it's fine. We can go a little bit, just a little bit more off topic on this.
I'll actually spend more money than you will on it because.
Yeah, you probably would.
I've got the
disposable
money.
Income out the
wazoo. It comes out February 14th. It comes out on Valentine's Day.
Oh man, well, I could make a joke.
I'm not.
I could make a joke. Anyways,
I'll let you have the last one.
And my last pick is actually going to be quite surprising, and that would have to be Monolith Soft. Now, for those of you who don't know who Monolith Soft is, they are the primary developers behind, or no, they are the sole developers behind the Xenoblade series currently, which is an amazing series that's only on Nintendo systems, and oh my god, I love it! It's such an amazing game series, because they're all massive open-world games. Now, with a couple of them, I think with just Xenoblade, though, the original Xenoblade Chronicles, people just had a minor problem, or a few minor problems with, like, the story and some gameplay mechanics, and they didn't really like them all that much. But that seems to not be the case with Xenoblade Chronicles X for the most part, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So, they're 100% a company that I would love to see handle the Star Wars IP. 100%. And on top of that, they've also made the Xenosaga series, which was a very much loved series, I believe, by a lot of people. I've heard that people heavily enjoyed the Xenosaga series. And that's why I decided to include them on the list. Not because I'm biased at all. No, by no means. I'm totally not biased at all, he says, as he holds up the two special editions for Xenoblade Chronicles X and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 that he owns and has on display in his room. Totally not biased at all. Anyways.
Okay,
no response to that.
The deluxe edition, now I'm bouncing back to Jump Force.
Oh my god!
But the deluxe edition includes...
And there's going to be an odd jump cut here because after this point we spent another 10 to 12 minutes like talking about honorable mentions for other companies who might do a good job with a Star Wars license for making Star Wars games. And I'm going to just turn that into its own separate video because I feel like it really should be turned into its own separate video. Mainly because I don't want this video to be forever long because I'm sure you guys don't want to sit through a half-hour long video when main point of this video is just to talk about people who we would love to, absolutely love to see take over Star Wars from EA. Anyways, let's get back to the outro. I think I might have a few games left in me, but I'm going to end this video off now. Thank you guys so much for coming out to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button. Also consider hitting the subscribe button to get notifications for my next uploaded video. Don't forget to also check out links down below in the description for my Twitch, my Patreon, my Streamlabs, my Twitter, my other YouTube channel, and all that other stuff down below. And also don't forget to comment down below, as I mentioned earlier, what you thought of this video.
I'm also on here kind of often, so that's cool too.
Yeah? We just need to get you on more. We need to get Subnautica fixed and up and going again.
God, I really need to look into that. That's what I'll
Yeah.
I'll look into that tomorrow. I got
Yeah.
tomorrow off. I have 2 days off in a row.
Which is nice.
That doesn't happen. That's not a real thing.
What else? Don't forget to share this video on social media and send it all. Comments. Social media. Share it on social media, like Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff.
I was making fun of the way you said it.
Oh. Well then. You're always making fun of me, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, thank you guys for coming out to this video once again. I hope you enjoyed it. This was just a nice, goofy little Star Wars talk video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Are you going to say bye?
Bye. Have a beautiful time.
I got the reference. Alright, see you guys.